I haven't always loved homemaking. In fact, for a long time, it felt like a never-ending to-do list. The dishes, the laundry, the meals, every single day, again and again. But eventually God changed my heart and I stopped treating homemaking like something to just get through. Now I see homemaking as a gift that I'm called to do. So today, join me for a day of homemaking and some encouragement along the way. Early on in my homemaking journey, I would let the dishes and the laundry pile up throughout the week. And then by the time that I actually did do them, I would grumble or complain the entire time that I was doing them. And those household chores just felt like this heavy, unrewarding burden that I had to do. But one day it finally occurred to me that the dishes and the laundry weren't going to go anywhere. They were always going to be there. And I could either keep doing them and feel miserable while I was doing them, or I could figure out a way to actually enjoy the homemaking chores and tasks that I had. So I started to embrace homemaking, and I realized that homemaking isn't just a list of chores to check off my to-do list. And believe me, I love to-do lists and I love checking things off, but it was more than that. In fact, what I had to realize is that I had to change my heart and my attitude, and I had to find a purpose behind the list of chores that I had. I didn't want to just get through scrubbing the shower with gritted teeth and complain the whole time. I wanted to start doing that well. So I started thinking about the reasons why I do all the things around the house. For example, when I scrub the shower, I'm creating a clean, sanitary place for my family to clean themselves and to feel refreshed. No one wants to walk into a nasty shower with a bunch of mold or soap scum everywhere. That just makes you feel gross. But I want to create a good, nice, clean area for them. And I often think about the quote from Mother Teresa, which says, "Wash the dishes not because they're dirty, but because you love the people who will use them next." And I think of that quote often, especially as I'm going about my different household tasks, because the truth is that homemaking is not just a bunch of chores, that it's really about the people that we are doing these things for. I want my family to know that making our home into a safe and comfortable and just a stable place where they know they can come home and just be themselves. They know that they're going to get a good meal. They know that they can rest in our home. I want them to know that me creating that home is a priority, and not just a priority, but it's a privilege for me. And it's something that I enjoy doing for them. And I started taking these ordinary tasks that I do every day, instead of just getting through them, I started treating them as ways that I can joyfully and with a thankful heart serve my family and also serve God. And I'm reminded of the verse that really encouraged me when I was trying to figure out just my role as a homemaker and trying to think about why I do the different tasks around the home and just really embrace being a homemaker. So there was a verse, it was in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, that really helped me. And it says, "Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people." And while, yes, I am serving my family, ultimately, I am serving the Lord. And so over time, homemaking has just become more than just a to-do list and things to just, check off my list. It has become part of who I actually am. And homemaking has become a devoted way of life for me that honors the Lord and serves my family. So today, I want to remind you that your efforts at home matter deeply. And when you go about your tasks, remember that there is so much more to doing them than just checking the chores off of your to-do list. You will have more peace and purpose as you serve your family when you remember the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. And today, if you're in a season where homemaking feels more like a burden than it does a blessing, I want you to know you're not alone. And that's why I created the free Motivated Homemaker workshop. I wanted to create it to help women just like you find joy and purpose in the work that you do at home. It's a practical, encouraging workshop that's totally free. You can sign up for it with a link in the description, because today I just want you to remember to just stop getting through your to-do list and instead start living on purpose. On this day, I had made peanut butter cookies. My husband takes them in his lunches for work, plus the rest of us enjoy them too. And this recipe comes from the cookbook called Dining on a Dime, and it always turns out delicious. And so it's my go-to recipe, and I will leave a link below if I can find the recipe, or at least to the cookbook if you want to check that out. My mom gave it to me years ago, and it's one of my favorite cookbooks. I had recently found this small basket at a thrift store and wanted to add it to my basket wall above my sink, but my vision did not quite come to life. I think eventually I'll be rearranging it in the future, but here's what it looks like for now. Dinner tonight was chicken parmesan and just super simple side dishes. I realized as I was making dinner this night that I didn't follow a single recipe for any of the food that I had made, which is so surprising. 17 years ago, I would have needed a recipe, and I probably would have also burnt half of the meal because I was not very good at cooking. But it is so good to see progress, and becoming better at cooking didn't happen overnight for me. It took time, it took dedication to learning the skill, and I have heard it said that practice makes progress instead of practice makes perfect. And I love that thought. With time, with repeated action, we can get better at the skills that are needed for homemaking. So tonight was chicken parmesan, which I soak in an Italian seasoned buttermilk, and then I dredge in flour and I fry it, and I top it with a tomato sauce that I add spices to as well. And then tonight I added provolone cheese. Sometimes I do mozzarella, but that's what I had on hand. And then for the sides, I roasted frozen vegetables in olive oil and seasoned salt. And that is one of my kids' favorite ways to eat vegetables. I love it that way too, actually. So I make frozen roasted vegetables a lot just because that way we all eat our veggies. And then I heated up some sliced apples and added cinnamon to them for another just simple, nutritious, and delicious side dish that I knew my family would eat. And that was it for dinner. So thank you for joining me today, and be sure to check out my free resource down below.